Video games have changed substantially since we were children. Everything from the graphics of the games to the content within the game. We've seen an increase in sales and an increase in availability to the public. People have the ability to play games on their gaming consoles like the PS3 and the Xbox. They have the ability to play on their smartphones and on the computer when they are just on Facebook. In the early days, we were content with Pong and Space Invaders. However, now people seem to feel that they need to play very violent or very real role-playing games. It's never been easier to play these games that make you feel like that you're in another world. The big thing now is, of course, online gaming, where you can say anything to anyone without consequence. Even kids have access to these games, and the question we really need to be asking ourselves is how safe for the future of our children can it be to let them play these video games? Are these games promoting violence? How do these games affect the lack of communication skills in today's youth? We can start, of course, by the content of video games. The video gaming industry has evolved so much over the few years. We are at the point where it's become so real that children are choosing to accept this as real life. They play nonstop because they feel invincible and that they are in a different world. A world with less rules and the ability to do things they simply can't do in real life. Essentially, children are creating a new version of themselves and immersing themselves in a virtual reality what they prefer to real life. If you look at the study conducted by NPD Group, 91% of children aged 2 to 17 game. That accounts for 64 million people, almost twice the population of our country. In this study, NPD also shows that the most recent increase in gaming has been within children 2 to 5 years of age. So does that mean that from a very young age, children are essentially taught that gaming is real life? It seems that children are having a much harder time with communication and interactive skills, and this could be attributed to the fact that it is much easier to interact with other people when they are across the country and there's no consequences for the things they say. Once the children get into a real-life interaction, they are too scared and can't interact effectively. Of course, you can't blame the children for all of this. In 1992, Midway released Mortal Kombat, where the slogan of the game was, "Mortal Kombat, so real it hurts." So I feel the industry itself can take a lot of blame for the sheer fact that their goal is literally to make games as real as possible, to get people who play them addicted. The video game industry is worth $105 billion worldwide, and the online game companies account for a whopping $23 billion of that. So you have the companies making these games as real as possible and the kids buying into it. Is it the gaming industry's responsibility to decide what content is ethical to be released, or is it left to the public? We feel the direction the industry will take by purchasing inappropriate content. But how about the violence? Why do the games have to be as violent as they are? And why are the laws so loose about who plays these video games? Over the last 2 decades, gaming has gone from hitting a ball between 2 virtual paddles to running across a very live-feeling battlefield while killing other people in very graphic ways. Kids of all ages are playing these games, and there's no control on who's playing them. Sure, you have to be 18 to purchase the game, but after that, there's no laws as to who can play them. So young children are running around killing, thinking it's normal because it's easy to in video games. Essentially, they are becoming desensitized to violence. Since the Columbine shooting in 1999, there have been 46 school shootings in America, and only about 20 in the rest of the world combined, which is quite a coincidence considering that the US has the largest video game market. So is there a correlation between video games and school shootings? It really does seem that there is, and we need to be asking ourselves why we're still making these violent video games and letting kids play them. Since we can't quite control the production of these video games, nor can we control the laws, it is ultimately in the control of the parents to do something about this. Parents sit back and let their kids play these video games in belief that it is healthy for the children and is helping them use their brain and get their anger out on the PlayStation. But given the research that is conducted each year, it seems that video games are really only rotting the brains of our youth, convincing them that killing is normal. Kids are not ready for the responsibility that comes with playing violent video games, nor are they ready to stop living their own life because the one in the games like Sims or Grand Theft Auto seem better. Video games are no longer just a fun pastime in the youth for our world. They have progressed to be a lifestyle, and this lifestyle will cause negative effects on the future generations, influencing everything from healthy living and exercise to social behaviors and mental health. I'm not saying video games shouldn't exist, I simply feel that they are being misused to the point of corruption.